the moment, Pakistan are in the lead with the fastest overall average game time at 28 minutes and 7 seconds. The next closest to them is Bangladesh, who are at just shy of 32 minutes. So they've got nearly a 4-minute advantage right now, and they're just going to look to continue that tempo going. It might also be that even if you're in a really losing position, you want to make sure that you're delaying the game as much as possible. Like, that is a legitimate strategy this game.
Yeah, and coming back to what you're saying about this push into what Pakistan have got, who can group up and team fight. They've got some pretty good ways of single target catching people, and if they have the vision, which is going to be key in all of these games, that knowledge of where your opponents are and figuring out which target gets what spells thrown at them. They've got tons of ways for this Wraith King Kunkka Grimstroke in particular to get some of those early stuns initiations going, like they're going to try now onto Jin. The Inkswell's there. They've got the Soul Assumption, the burst damage, and the first blood goes their way. And that's a good indication of how these team fights can go if they find one hero isolated.
Yeah, he was a little bit second-guessy, though, in that lane. Like, he specifically walked underneath the mid-tower, just getting that one right-click there, revealing the fact that they had an Observer Ward in the area, and then stuck around. Faith, he's sticking around a little bit too. Soul Assumption dealing a massive amount of damage.
That's no joke. Man, we're seeing a lot more of these, like, Visage Doom, Visage Clockwork, where you've got Scorched Earth, or you've got the Battery Assault, lots of this, alpha damage, massive damage at level 1. Soul Assumption just shreds through people so quickly.
I mean, Skywrath Mage as well, lots of damage early on that
Yes.
our son will look to take advantage of. But again, you have that turnaround potential. You have this Chaos Knight paired together with the Omni Knight. He's gone the level 1 Hammer of Purity, which makes sense. Oh, he's actually forced to immediately try and get back to the lane and look to harass out the... look at that damage.
His HP just disappears. Faith is going to be munching through all these tangos.
I mean, Arsan is still in a position where he can get focused on very easily, right? There's 0 armor that he's got here. So, maybe level 2 Reality Rift, bring him down to -4 armor, very quick burst potential coming through. And you're going to get early levels pretty quickly, right? Yes, you were able to get the first blood onto the Chen, so at the moment, you've got a little bit of that experience advantage forward as well.
Oh, thank God.
Jump in this top lane with a Skywrath Mage. So it does mean Lycan's going to be, kind of okay once he's hit level 3, level 4. He'll be regenning just enough to make sure he's not being handled by that Tidebringer constantly. And there was the D-Ward from Faith, like you said. Gets rid of that early vision from the Radiant team. And then that third lane down bottom, Chen after that first blood, he comes down here, steals a range creep, and he's been harassing this Grimstroke away. So far, Joker hasn't really been able to go into the lane. Primarily Chen is there, but it's also secondarily the fact that he went Inkswell level 1 to get that kill. So no Stroke of Fate means no securing range creeps, no pushing the wave back out against them.
Yeah. I mean, Ghost Khan's going to be able to get a little bit of farm now that it's pushed all the way back underneath the tower. It also means that level 2 much more likely to come. But it's just so important for both of these lanes, for Pakistan's safe lane to get level 2. Same sort of thing for Bangladesh safe lane on the top side. But he's actually gone into the Purification as opposed to the Heavenly Grace. So I wonder if that'll prevent them from being able to catch up.
They want that damage. Take down the Visage. He's a very, very slow hero. What, 285 move speed? And not very tanky either. 700 HP with 1 armor. So a similar spot to the Skywrath Mage. Very squishy if they do get jumped by that CK. Yeah, I think that Purification is just for the nuke damage, right? Like, heal, sure, but nuke these heroes down while you still can. And Faith getting nuked himself. Sky and Visage bursting straight through him.
He was able to buy the magic wand, or the magic stick rather, before he ended up dying, so didn't lose too much in terms of his unreliable gold. So not losing too much there. Coming straight back up to the top side. Does he have anything that he was carrying for the Chaos Knight? Don't think so. He's just given the shared tango over as the CK. Oh, that is a little unfortunate. Just forced to go all into regen. How often do you see a Chaos Knight at this stage of the game sitting this low on the net worth?
Yeah, buying a salve, more tangos, buys a magic stick, and he's only got 4 CS. CK being dominated. Visage 11 and 4, even with that 1 death. So it's going to come down to Bangladesh really trying to control that lane equilibrium with a pull like this. It works somewhat, but you're still going to have half The wave coming back out of the camp and pushing back across.
And Len's just having to be a lot more conservative with the placement of his Lycan Wolves in the mid lane. Of course, he's coming up against this Kunkka, like I mentioned before. Any kind of physical damage is going to be great against those, just to consistently be used to try and kill them, get a lot of that valuable experience away.
How did I go at the CK top again? Drops down to like 200 HP. Has to spend the salve under his tower. This is more time where he's just not getting any last hits. Picked up 3 since we last saw him. This is just oppression on every front from Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. I still feel like you picked this Omni Knight for a reason, and I feel like the Purification probably isn't that. You know, the Heavenly Grace, when you've got it paired together with these two, you just want to toss it onto the CK, right? It gives him so much extra damage, an additional 8 damage, and now it means that you're not going to have that big, I would say, level 3 timing, where you get the extra 18 damage, 12 extra regen. You're going to have people with debuffs on them through the concussive shot, through the grave chill, so potential for even more damage to come out. But now it's only going to come at level 4, and we were mentioning before the fact that he previously, I think it was 2 waves ago, had 4
right for the Omni and to just be that defensive support. So his level's going to come maybe in.
Is that you either to have the Chen and the Lycan just put so much pressure onto the towers, because we said before it's really only the Grimstroke and the Kunkka that are going to be able to deal with that. So either the Dominator on him and the Chen. So really feels like that might be the avenue that they're looking to go down.
I think that's a good idea. Rather than like relieve the pressure in the lane that you're suffering the most, go elsewhere and apply pressure to kind of create that vacuum. His Faith. Just level 2 Soul Assumption is doing like 400 damage or something to these heroes. Insane numbers. Down bottom, they're going on the Wraith King. Chen and Sand King here, they've got a point in caustic, stuns on cooldown, but the long-range right-click from Jin comes in to secure it. And again, nothing much the Grimstroke can do.
That's a really important kill as well. The Courier going down with the Helm of Iron Will. Of course, so potent for just being able to stay in lane, all that additional armor and regen.
Yeah, 1 minute without it. Finally, some retribution up top. Yeah, when his mangoes, his raindrops. This is why CK's bought himself a stick and raindrops as well. Keep that mana regen going so he can keep casting all his spells. Omni's no different. They are like, this top lane is all inning on lane stage. Like the next 2 or 3 minutes has to be good for them because they have invested money into it.
I honestly think it's almost worth. I mean, they don't have the mana to do it, but someone else coming top, just because Visage just TP'd back to lane. You've got the Heavenly Grace now available on Faith. You want to try and kill the Visage immediately again.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that like Lycan's not level 6. He doesn't have mana for shapeshift and stuff, even if he wanted to. Who comes top? You don't want Sand King to leave lane because he's having a nice time, but under the tower, they drag him back in. They've got that Hammer of Purity and trying to slow him down, but Sparks just puts the Grave Chill on them and actually turns onto Faith here. Maybe with a concussive shot coming back up in 2 seconds, they can finish him off. But they're incredibly afraid of any kind of TP rotation. It felt like Bangladesh were definitely trying to bait them into it even further.
Oh, and he unfortunately just placed the Observer Ward down right inside the Sentry radius. I was really thinking that he might look to pop the Magic Stick because you know that they're spamming these abilities. Topside again.
Yeah, they go straight back onto the Visage, but he's got that point in Cloak now. As the Grace onto the CK. Magic damage still coming through, but the raindrops keep him alive. And Faith is going to pick up the Visage kill. I don't know if he can chase down a Sky with boots. That's 370 move speed. So able to get away from danger.
Maybe with the Hammer of Purity, but no, he's just going to back off entirely. And, well, at least you're able to get something. RR, for mine, I don't think he's manning up enough. You know, this is an incredibly strong lane with the Omni Knight. And, well, look what's happening, Mr. Devil.
Yeah, he arrives straight in with the X mark. Misses the torrent play, but I don't think it matters too much, or maybe it does. That Heavenly Grace doing an awful lot to keep RR alive. Raindrops pop, but he's got the Tidebringer level 3 to secure it. And now can TP back into mid.
Yeah, he'd popped the haste previously, so that's how he was able to get up there so quickly, immediately able to TP back, and it means that you're not going to get that pressure that we were talking about, the vacuum, just dragging other heroes away from the lane. So Lycan not going to have any threat onto the mid tower. Chen still hasn't been able to put too much pressure on bot side either.
Yeah, I guess with this Lycan, you don't really want to use Shapeshift unless you have like guaranteed 2 kills, one on a core, one on a support, something like that. Because with this Helm, right? Oh, in the jungle, it found Joker, Grimstroke, picked off by Chen, who's got himself a Lightning Harpy and an Ogre Frost Mage. But with Lycan like just buying his Helm, now is probably the time where he's thinking, I can move to a lane with a big creep and actually play with my Shapeshift a bit. Rift on Sky. Sure. Oh, can they finish him with a Chaos Bolt? They can't. And Grim's TP just comes too late.
What the next plan is in terms of itemization for Faith. Just going into the boots for now. Makes a lot of sense. You know, you want to be able to catch up, constantly harass out that speedy Skywrath mage that you were talking about before. But this is it. I mean, if he can hit up onto the level 5 on Faith, he's having to contend against the familiars now, though. But, again, you've got the Heavenly Grace, so you're going to be able to break those stuns and maybe get the turnaround.
Yeah, and just play aggressively onto the Visage now. Try and burst them down.
Oh, it actually is a good
crits from
stun on
CK. Oh, back. Oh, bottom, they're going again onto this Sand King. He tries the Sandstorm to hide, but the sentry's there. So Kunkka making these pretty snappy, decisive moves, right? Rotates top, rotates bottom, gets a kill on both sides of the map. And we're still yet to see what this Lycan can do.
He's just farming up for now, looking to... Ooh, he actually isn't able to deny away that illusion rune. With Mr. Devil picking that one up as he builds into that own armlet that we were talking about before. It really does feel like that's the name of the game. Just get a lot of those early value items, look to group up together and push.
Tempo. It's like armlet BKB, win the game.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon? Like, Wraith King probably goes to the classic armlet Deso, right? And then thinks about his BKBs, his blinks. Scaled a bit more than the Kunkka.
Maybe even considering a Blink Dagger, just because you don't have that hero that's going to be able to get in onto the backlines quite so easily. Look at these body blocks coming out from the Lycan Wolf, by the way.
Yeah.
Trapping in Ghost Khan. Nicely done.
Done so much there to allow the Sand King to catch up. Inxar's on the Wraith King, and he does have Reincarnation. Channeling the epicenter, maybe could have waited for the second round to get that going, because Ghost Khan now has a chance to slip away.
Even lose the Centaur creep as well, so we'll have to look to find another one here on Jhin. And then Ring Ripper, not the worst to have, especially when you're going up against this Kunkka. The additional armor, very nice at protecting against the Tidebringer. Speaking of Tidebringer, Faith might go down here, but very tanky.
Still gonna get the raindrops. These raindrops paying off big time for the Dire team. But it's also, he tried to TP right under the CK's nose. Mr. Devil chased out by the Lycan Shapeshift now. He's had such a good time on this Kunkka. Getting picked off here is a massive kill for Bangladesh. And there we'll find it. Because that's the Kunkka pushing tier 1 mid in the Lycan lane. You know, the lane we kind of expected Lycan to get some push going himself.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to be able to make anything happen in this mid lane now with the Kunkka dead for the next 20 seconds. You've got the siege creep here, along with all of your units pushing in. I believe, what is the Lycan got? Still going to be a little bit away from being able to pick up that Vlad's. And Armlet so close for the Kunkka as well. So, I mean, there's been a lot of action so far, but it's just going to ramp up even further as Ghost Khan actually makes the rotation towards the mid lane to be able to protect it against this big creep wave. And Len might be the one to suffer.
Yeah, the invisible Mystic Flare. He's trying to TP home and he's successfully out of there. Creeps are still chasing the Scar's Mage, but I don't think they can catch up and kill him. And in the meanwhile, we lost our Visage top. 3 heroes from Bangladesh defending their top tier 1 against him.
It's very important, of course, to be able to just continue to put this Visage in the grave. He's already been able to pick up the Vladimir's offering. Again, any kind of Death Ball is just going to benefit hugely from that going into the Drum of Endurance next. And they were able to claim both Familiars, I believe, on the CK. So even though he had a horrible early laning stage, he's already recovered back up to 2nd on the net worth charts.
Well, again, these raindrops just buying more time for the Omni Knight to get a bit of distance, and a good stomp there, catching out the Wraith King, whose ulti's down. He did die bottom, remember, but a great ship. The boat lands and crashes onto 2 of them. Mr. Devil from the right-hand side swings it back the other direction. So they trade their Wraith King out for 3 kills.
I think you're very happy to do that. I mean, the Wraith King, he will be the one that is going to be going onto the high ground for you, but it's much more important in my eyes to be able to deal with this CK early on. He is the real big scaler, the one that can create a lot of the tempo and be that front line. So as long as Kunker's continuing to farm, he's been able to pick up that armlet, going straight into the Silver Edge. Not the greatest heroes to be able to break, but still, of course, just a lot of that surprise damage looking to come out and clear out a lot of these creeps.
Yeah, it is a good point you make about the CK as well, because usually with a push-centric draft, we'd always be talking about, on a timer, they've got to finish by X minute, 25 minutes in, they want a Rax to have fallen. But with a CK, a Lycan, and this Omni Knight that you've been talking about with that Heavenly Grace behind them, they scale pretty decently against Wraith King, Kunkka, and this Visage, who are the 3 cores. But I think more importantly also, the fact that there's no big AoE team fight outside of Kunkka from Team Pakistan. So when this Phantasm comes out, when the full army is ready, say he has an Aghanim Scepter, say we have this Helm of the Overlord, Chen full army, what do they do to actually fight with a horde knocking at their doors?
I mean, I feel like Mr. Devil has the capability to do it, right? Like, if he has the Silver Edge, that's a lot of crit damage, and that's a lot of physical crit damage. So it's nothing that a Shen's going to be able to stop. It's nothing that a Lycan's going to stop. All the magic resistance in the world isn't going to be able to do jack against that.
All down to the Kunkka.
And you just think about the synergies as well, right? Tidebringer, 4-second cooldown, got to be critting for a ton of damage. Black Sparks, Soul Assumption, 4-second cooldown. So every 4 seconds, just expect all that damage to be coming through in huge bursts against Team Bangladesh.
So in that vein, have we seen a lot of the Wraith packs coming out in these games? Still seems like it's a reasonably popular item.
Yeah, I would say so. It's just not busted anymore.
Okay.
You need to be a little bit more conscious of the fact that, okay, I'd be giving up a lot of free gold to the enemy team. You can't just freely place it as well. It's going to be following your hero constantly. So I think it's in an alright spot. I think maybe still needs a bit of a nerf, but certainly nowhere near as strong as it used to be.
It's no longer the one team has it, they win the game. The other team doesn't have it, they lose the game kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, big money for Mr. Devil. Killing off a bunch of creeps and wolves. Yeah, you're right, he is. Just continually making sure that Bangladesh have to reset the armies as an X-boat forces the Burst Strike out of the Sand King. But this silence out of the Phantom's Embrace and the Mystic Flare landing means he's dead. Team fight down. But in come the Wolves, the army there, the Guardian Angel 2. Great Inkswell connecting on to the 2 of them, though, as they get torrented up and cleaved down by Mr. Devil. Picks up a triple kill. And now it's down to CK and Lycan to try and battle back. They're doing some decent damage here with the crits and the creeps. Ghost Khan is falling low, but he's got reincarnation, and CK is going to die before he can even finish the job. Convincing victory.
Just did so much in that team fight. Yeah, dealing 5.5k damage in a single team fight at 15 minutes. Nuts.
What?
Right? Like, he was just hitting multiple units constantly with the Tidebringer, but even just the use of the Torrent there, being able to lock people in place, combo together incredibly well with the Visage Familiars.
5.5k is nutty damage. Now he's got Shadowblade done. I didn't realize how far ahead he was. I was like, okay, he's having a pretty good game. He's got some kills, but that's a 3k net worth gap at 15 minutes. He is the difference between the two squads in like overall net worth.
Really feels to me a lot like the top side. You have to be a little bit careful here. The Shadowblade coming out, looking to try and get that pick off onto the Lycan.
Misses
end up hitting. He's in the middle of a creep wave.
First one. Still gonna get tagged heavily by that Mystic Flare and Boat. And that's the single target, right? That's if Team Pakistan can get out on the map, they can pretty much kill anyone they want to. If they see them, they can kill them.
And with that kill as well, it was only worth 320 gold or so, but it still gives him the Chrysalis, and he's 350 gold away from the Silver Edge. So, previously, of course, you've got the 175 bonus damage on hit from the Shadowblade. And today, whatever team has second pick, and
Bangladesh. 2 rounds of fighting.
Got a Wraith King as well, heading into a Radiance as well. He's been farming this one up for quite some time. Hasn't really gotten that Blink Dagger that I was thinking he might choose to go for. But, I mean, having that evasion, that blind, going up against all of these different units, the Lycan ones as well as the CK with a Phantasm, might give you that extra second or so to be able to survive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, usually an item you think against illusion heroes in particular very good, but against all these summons, I think you're spot on. That does the job. How long until he's got it? Just the talisman, really. Needs money for it. So a couple of minutes, and it'll be ready. And then that's another thing that Bangladesh have to try and break through to actually get this this lineup of theirs towards the enemy base. There's so many barriers in the way, you know, with Aegis in the hands of...
Much more pressing matters. Base being siege.
Yes.
Mr. Devil could end up dying.
A lot of damage out of that sniper, hey? With the maelstrom, the headshots, do you get the kill on Mr. Devil? Chain Frost bouncing back between the Brewlings and Faith. Joker about to fall here, as long as he can get focused down. And now Remnant's in from Jin. Slight off cooldown in 2 seconds, but it's the Cyclone. Onto the Lycan. Again, that primary target here from the Brew. Hellfire down onto the sniper now. Didn't stand a chance. She's a better sniper than he ever would be. Finds a triple kill, and Black Sparks dominating that fight just by standing and firing at will in towards Bangladesh.
Yeah, they're going to need to buy back into this one. Feels bad to do it on the Brewmaster, but it's a necessity.
What's he been involved in now? 10 kills, 18 assists, 28.
Still ahead of the Visage and the Brewmaster.
Oh, man. He's had a spectacular performance. Lina has Aegis still up top. But if she dies once, feels likely she'll die twice. Joker is here, and I've got a Stampede, but that's while she's dead, so a little bit awkward there. Black Spark, Silver Edge is up, but dusted immediately. Chain Frost is in. Maybe the Lina can stand and hit into Jin and RR with Laguna Blade and the damage coming. A trade potentially here. But RR is back to high ground. Jin
Chase
still looking for Asan, but the Tiny slaps him down.
2 lanes of barracks down, 25 minutes in. 3rd lane already pushed. Got another siege creep wave coming towards the lane past the tier 1 bottom. Really does feel like just a matter of time before Team Pakistan close this one out. Again, it is 2 slots. I was mistaken. So for the South Asia region, so Team India will be cheering on their Pakistan brothers, just wanting to get this one in the books and secure that 2nd place.
Yeah, because if Bangladesh lose here, they end up what, 3-3?
Yep.
And India's still at 4-2, so they wouldn't have that 2nd place spot. A last-ditch smoke effort maybe now from Bangladesh. They need to get some kind of foothold on this map. 27k behind, 2 lanes down, and it's not even, you know, in this kind of situation you're thinking, well, what are we playing towards? We win a team fight and then what? We can't Roche, we can't really, you know, push.
We can't take our first tier 1 tower.
Tier 1s are all full HP basically, right? They've lost like 100 HP each max. There is a DD spawning bottom. Maybe if Sniper can go
to the E-Blade on our son. Oz or Tiny.
Oh, what a beast.
Go on.
Yeah, the greedy Pos 4 is kind of, you know, the time has kind of come and gone, right? Like the other name I would bring up is like Yapsor. He was, you know, one of the greediest Pos 4s in Europe, right? When he's playing, you know, I think Enigma is one of those heroes that maybe is a bit cheap to throw into this discussion because it naturally just scales into a core, and you are less of a 4 and more of like a 3.5/3. But yeah, you're right. It's been a long old while since we've seen this kind of performance from a support.
Get the ceremonial robe for himself as well. So you think he wasn't doing enough magic damage previously?
Oh, has he?
Pretty crazy.
Still in high spirits though, spamming their voice lines and their laughter lines. So Bangladesh, maybe a good fight in them still left. Pakistan just really focused on this macro game now, controlling all the waves, making sure that when next Roshan comes around, they will have it as Tiny jumps in yet again. Avalanche tossing, Visage. Ooh, big bit of damage from Ghost Khan coming in at the end. And that's a hero dead without buyback. Primal split required from the Brewmaster, but this is again just a disengage tool. Trying to
get on Black Sparks on the back lines.
Oh yeah, they are,
but
but
they'll be able to do it.
Gets away with a Blink dagger. Silver Edge Blink still has BKB ready to play with. And Sniper, Blink Stomp, dodged by the BKB. Len looking to run away, but this Lina with a double damager, and you're right, just raining so much DPS down towards him. Blinks forward for the double kill. And 4 heroes down with no buyback means it's all up to this Brewmaster, who does have... No, he doesn't. He's got no more splits. He's used them all.
He's used them all, and he's used his buyback previously, so if he fell down, he would have just been giving his life away again. Will he be able to secure the tier 1 tower? No, doesn't seem like he's all that keen. And Pakistan, they're keen to just end the game with the remnants of that double damage, with the Ancient Black Dragon. This
Go solo Roche. Brewmaster, go solo Roche. That's your job, but they call GG. It's all over here, and a 2-0 victory. Brewmaster nearly dying at the end there to the E-Blade of the Tiny.
Another pre-30-minute game for Team Pakistan, able to secure that one at the end. So, yeah, very, very well-deserved first place coming out of these South Asia qualifiers. And unfortunately for Bangladesh, it was an admirable third. You know, they were by far the third best team ahead of Sri Lanka, and really only came here in second. Your